And hello folks, this is David, and today I'm bringing you a review of the brand new Carenado Cessna 406. This airplane just released a few days ago, and I've been flying it since release day to get a really good feel of the airplane, so I can give a really good in-depth review. And the summary of the review is pretty much buy this airplane because it's really nice. We'll go ahead and start here in the exterior, and just for reference I'm using P3dv3 version 3 and the new avatar mode to look around the exterior of the airplane. It's actually really nice. The exterior modeling and texturing are typical Carenado quality. They're really high quality textures with a lot of weathering. You can see around here around this stack and the soot, the gear door, and even the boots have a little bit of weathering to them. The 3D modeling, I mean, it's as typical of them, is really good. I feel like I'm looking at the real airplane. And the paintwork is really nice. You actually even get a metallic glint off the paint when you get the right angle. There's also, chips on the fuselage. Oops, sorry. Still getting used to the camera controls of this Xbox controller, which I used for avatar mode. Just really nice texture work. Really impressed with that. They really got into details with this airplane. One thing about avatar mode is you cannot go anywhere under the model itself. And anyway, for this review I'm at Orbix's Ketchikan scenery, and it's not completely working because the object flow is not working with P3dv3 version 3 yet, but it still looks pretty good and it's way better than default, so I'm using it. And in the VC, the story is the same. The texture work is really nice, and the cockpit should seem really familiar to those who have the Cessna 404 from Alabio. The avionics package in this airplane is also really nice. You have these nice Aspen units here, and also you have a dual GNS 530 with the radar. You also have Flight 1 GTN 750 integration and Reality XP integration for those of you who are using this in FSX. I would have the GTN 750s put in here, but the GTN 750s aren't compatible with P3dv version 3 yet, so I'm stuck with the GNS 530s. But even these are a pretty good GPS because they do allow you to shoot approaches and everything like that. So they are upgraded from the stock default FS GPSs. Alright, go ahead and start up here and let y'all hear the airplane. The sound package on this airplane is really nice, so I'll shut up and let y'all listen to it. This aircraft does suffer from the age-old FSX bug where the turboprops on startup want to go lurching forward, and the way to combat that is to pull the props all the way back, but that will cause the engines to over-torque. And every single turboprop I've flown in FSX repaired does the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's by Carenado or Real Air, they all do it. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong with my startups, but I don't know. Anyway, the performance on this airplane is really impressive. The short field takeoff and then climb out capability is really good, and I'll go ahead and actually demonstrate a max performance takeoff for you. This airplane is really believable for a real airplane. It's not just one of those airplanes that tracks exactly straight. It's actually a little bit of a workout to control it while it's on the takeoff run. And suck the gear up. And there you have it, climbing out at about 2,500 feet a minute. Just a really, really impressive performance. And drop the nose. Get the flaps up. Single engine performance of this airplane is also really good. Even on one engine, you're able to maintain about 1,000 feet a minute climb rate. Excuse me, I'm getting over a little cold, so my voice is kind of messed up, and I'm going to be coughing throughout the video. The flight dynamics of the airplane are really good, really believable. It handles like a large twin turboprop would, kind of King Air-esque handling, which I have flown in the real world. Go ahead and see if I can get do an engine shutdown here and demonstrate the single engine handling capabilities of the airplane. Added is a silencer for the gear horn, which is a really welcome addition, for me at least. At cruise speed, the airplane doesn't need a huge amount of rudder to stay centered, but in climb it definitely does. And this is pretty realistic. Go ahead and bring it around. Like I said, the airplane, performance-wise, is great. If you're flying out of a lot of short fields but want to fly a larger airplane like this is definitely the airplane to do it. And the only other airplane I can think of is this capable is probably the Real Air Turbine Duke. And modeling-wise and flight dynamics-wise, this airplane is, I would say, probably 90% as good as the Turbine Duke is, which is a really big compliment. And the aircraft will do a nice slip, so we can get slowed down there, drop the gear and make a single engine landing. Then I'll go ahead and show you all the night lighting. Also, the sound package on the ground is really nice. It has really good rolling sounds and bumps and squeaks and all that sort of jazz. And when I start number 1. Switch over to night so I can show you all the night lighting. I finally got around to switching over to SSDs, and the difference in load time really is well worth it. If you are thinking about switching to SSDs from an HDD, go watch some of my older videos, like the one where I review the Comanche, and you can see the difference in the load times. It's pretty substantial and well worth the like $120 it cost me for the 512 gigabyte SSD. There's a lot of really nice individual controls for all the lighting, individual intensities for most of the stuff. So it just looks real nice. And one thing I have noticed with Prepared is that if you want good cockpit lighting at night, you gotta turn off the HDR, and it just makes everything look so much better and a lot more realistic. I have noticed is these seem to stay on here on the Aspens a lot. And exterior wise, the lighting is really nice as well. Alright folks, well that pretty much sums it up for this airplane. I definitely recommend you purchase the airplane. Seems like probably one of the best releases from Carenado I've seen in a long time, and it could definitely turn into a classic. One more thing I was going to actually show you is that they have allows you to add the cargo pod, and it does affect flight dynamics, and actually it truly does affect them. The aircraft actually does fly a little bit different with the cargo pod attached, so that is nice to see that Carenado has taken the time to model that and its effects in flight dynamics. Alright folks, well I hope you've enjoyed the review, and if you liked it, please subscribe, hit the like button. I truly appreciate it. Also, one more thing, I guess they're having some financial difficulties over at OZX, and if you haven't heard of it, it's a place where you can get a lot of A2A and Carenado repaints. So if you guys like the video, please go over there and give them a donation and help keep that asset for the community up and running. Alright folks, well I really appreciate it, and have a good one.